Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new episode of Max Talks Box Office here on Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Dinnenberg. Today, we're breaking down just this past weekend's box office domestic, the last weekend for movies in the month of January. So on this video today, we're just going to break down the domestic box office from January 26th to the 28th. And then we'll wrap up previewing the month of February, what is hitting theaters this upcoming month. So welcome back to the channel. If you're new, please subscribe and ring that bell for notifications so you're tuned in on when my videos drop. I do movie reviews as well as out of theater reactions for every single movie I see in theaters. I also do TV show reviews, monthly and movie rankings, including tomorrow will be my ranking video for all the new releases I saw in the month of January. That video will be out tomorrow. And then every single Tuesday back here on this channel with your box office breakdown. So subscribe, ring the bell, comment down below. What did you see in theaters this past weekend? Why did Hollywood not want to release any new wide releases this past weekend? What are your predictions for the month of February? Let me know in the comment section. Also, please like the video, guys. The thumbs up button helps much more than you guys think. So it takes 2 seconds out of your day. Go to the bottom of the screen, hit that thumbs up button. So let's get into this past weekend's box office. And if you joined me last week, this is going to kind of feel like the same exact video because we don't have enough movies yet to break down the worldwide numbers and the domestic numbers for this year because we're not even a month into the movie theater calendar. So we're just going to break down this past weekend, and the spoiler alert is it's the exact same top 5 from last week. Now, up until Sunday, our number 2 movie was number 1, but that's why I wait until Tuesday to get the final numbers on the box office and bring that to you guys. So the movie that was number 2 all weekend that snuck up to number 1 with the final results is Mean Girls, staying in first place for the 3rd consecutive weekend. It dropped 41%. It's up to, it got 6.9 million this past weekend. And it is now up to 60.4 million domestically. Does not look like this movie will be able to get to 75 million domestically. But again, this movie was made very cheaply, I think around 30-something million dollars. So including its international gross, this movie will definitely make up its budget and more. But not a huge smash hit at the box office. I think that a lot of people were expecting it. And if you're not familiar, this movie is under Paramount. And the movie was originally going to be a Paramount Plus original release, but Paramount did decide to go elsewhere and choose to put it in theaters. So I think it's going to be happy that they did this, but this is not an overwhelming success. I think the musical element was a major factor to people, and also the word of mouth, which just was not great for this movie. So not that people hated the movie, but it wasn't glowing. And for people who like the original, I think those people probably wanted just to watch the original. So Mean Girls just stays off of The Beekeeper. The Beekeeper was number 1 all weekend, including after Sunday. After the final numbers came in around late Monday afternoon, The Beekeeper is at 6.7 million. So around $100,000 short of passing Mean Girls. So 6.7, a drop of 22%. It's up to 41.5 million. But this movie is smashing it internationally. Another hit for Jason Statham, and which is very big because now I believe Amazon Prime or Amazon has now signed on for another movie with David Ayer directing Jason Statham. So clearly they want to keep this duo going, and Amazon, this is an MGM movie, and now Amazon snatches up the Ayer-Statham combo. So The Beekeeper comes in at number 2, also in its 3rd weekend. In 3rd place is Wonka, dropping 16% in its 7th weekend, 5.6 million. So it's up to 194. Very successful movie for Timothée Chalamet and Warner Brothers Discovery. Chalamet will be the big star for Warner Brothers Discovery as Dune hits theaters in 1 month. Very exciting. They have not announced a sequel to Wonka yet. But based on these results, they can easily announce it whenever they want to, but maybe they're just saving that for months past Dune and just focus Timmy on promoting Dune at the moment. But still, 7 weeks, still only dropping 16%. Very good numbers, including that Wonka will, though, be hitting digital this today. So this movie is not now exclusively in theaters. You can buy or rent it at a high price point right now for around like $20 to rent or 25 something to buy on PVOD. And then down the line, in a month or two, it will be available probably on Max. Before then, in months down the road, it'll go to Netflix. So Wonka is at number 3. Migration from Illumination is still at number 4, dropping 10%, 4.8 million, up to 101 million domestically. Again, now Migration with this past weekend's numbers passes the $100 million mark, so a big win for Illumination and Universal. They just dropped a new trailer for Despicable Me 4, so more things to come for Illumination this year. And then wrapping up the top 5 once again is Anyone But You, dropping 14%, 4.6 million, now up to 71 million domestically. This is the second straight week of identical box office top 5. Usually just never see that, both because obviously usually there is a new release every weekend that sneaks into the top 10. But also, there's always a lot of movement, but this time there's no movement, and we have the same top 5 once again this weekend. So that is this past weekend's domestic box office. Because, though, it is about to be February on Thursday, let's break down the upcoming releases hitting theaters this month. And that all starts... sorry, 1 second. Yeah, that all starts with this upcoming weekend, this Friday, February 2nd, with Argylle, the new film from Matthew Vaughn with an all-star cast, including Henry Cavill and Sam Rockwell and Bryce Dallas Howard, that hits theaters this Friday. That's the first big release probably of the year so far. Again, Matthew Vaughn's coming off of the X-Men First Class, Kick-Ass, and the Kingsman films. So let's see if he can track good. It's currently tracking in the mid-20s. The question is, can Argylle surprise and get in at least to the $30 million range in its opening weekend? Then February 9th, you have a kind of a small film, still a big enough film, I think, is Lisa Frankenstein. This is the film starring Catherine Newton and Cole Sprouse, from writer Diablo Cody. Of course, Cody is one of the most famous screenwriters in Hollywood, following writing Young Adult, Juno, Tully, and Jennifer's Body. So that is so Catherine Newton and Cole Sprouse. That movie is hitting theaters February the 9th. If you keep things going throughout the month, February 14th is probably the biggest kind of multi-movie day. You have Sony's Spider-Man kind of adjacent universe movie, Madam Web, with Dakota Johnson and Sydney Sweeney in the leading roles. They're heavily promoting this movie. Dakota Johnson was just on SNL this past week, but a lot of the behind the scenes have not seemed great for this movie, and the fact that it is now a standalone universe movie, not connected to anything Spider-Man related. We'll see if people do tune into that after hearing those headlines. And then Bob Marley One Love, the Bob Marley movie, starring Kingsley Ben-Adir as Bob Marley. Also, Lashana Lynch is in one of the leading roles as Rita Marley. That movie is also hitting theaters on February 14th. We get to February 23rd. We do have some limited releases that I think could make a splash. On February 23rd, you have Ordinary Angels, the film starring kind of a religious film starring Hilary Swank and Reacher himself, Alan Ritchson. And you also have Drive Away Dolls, the new film from Ethan Coen, one of the Coen brothers, directing, Margaret Qualley in the leading role. So that movie is also coming out on that day. And that wraps up the month of February before Dune Part 2 kicks off March on March 1st. And March will be a very busy month of movies. So February has some movies. What will be the biggest hit? What will disappoint? Let me know in the comment section down below. More videos this upcoming week. I always do also do my preview for what my videos will be in the next week. So tomorrow you'll get my ranking. I saw 7 new releases in the month of January. It's a lot for me in January. So I'm going to do my ranking of those 7 movies. Then Friday, you'll get my non-spoiler review and my out-of-theater reaction to Argylle. I am seeing that on Friday afternoon, so you'll get my out-of-theater reaction as well as my full-length review of the movie. And then back here on Tuesday, where also this week at some point I will get done as well my season 1 review of the Peacock series Ted, the prequel series, those first movies. So those 3 videos should be out in the next week. And then back here on Tuesday, breaking down what happened in the opening box office of the month of February 2024. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you guys.